Welcome back to the beautiful KwaZulu-Natal Midlands. We're at Treverton College in Moy River, and you're seeing some of the scenes. Of course, the landscape is changing colour in autumn, and the farmers are scrabbling to get their baling done before the first frosts of winter hit. And it can get very cold around here, but it's hot out there today, and it's extremely hot if you're playing in the front row against a very big Weston side who've scored 5 tries in the first half, and they lead the home side Treverton by 36 points to 6. And this game is being played for the Dowker Trophy. The last 2 years it's gone to Treverton. It doesn't look like that's going to happen again today, with Weston about to start the second half.
Blue captain.
They're playing in the blue strip with the yellow trim from left to right on your screens. And away we go. And it didn't quite go 10 metres, but that is the sort of thing you're going to see from Weston in this second half. I think Gareth's right. They're looking to sort of go through the move book.
Yeah, great first half by Weston, piling on the points, and just before half-time, you know, another try. And some good initiative showed by Francis Pope. Unfortunately, just didn't go 10 metres.
A couple of changes have been made by Treverton, as you would expect in these circumstances. Kyle Raubenheimer is replaced. And late in the first half, we saw Navarone Albers coming on for the injured Shane Kutsia. And that's a penalty going the way of Treverton. There's a big horse show here tomorrow, by the way. It's eventing, and if you're in the area, come along and watch. And that's Luke Richardson finding touch for Treverton.
Well, the front row putting massive pressure on Treverton. Hand in the scrum there by number 9. Oh, tough call.
It's marginal, that, isn't it? I think the referee was being a little kind. It's gone through the hands, and 2 knocks. First knock coming from Weston.
This is from blue and from white.
Michael Hutton, he's been really good this afternoon. He's run hard and he's tackled well. And he really has provided his side with enough quality ball, especially at the breakdown, where he's pilfered a lot.
Treverton finally getting a little bit of go forward at the scrum. Weber picks up. He is under pressure at the breakdown.
Advantage.
In comes Lungani Gumedi to clear the ball. And Treverton trying to play ducks and drakes. This is Van Sedam, who spent most of his afternoon defending. Rare chance to take the ball going forward. The referee had played advantage, and they'll come back for the penalty.
Well, somebody needs to spark this Treverton side if there is going to be a comeback on the cards. They look a little bit lethargic just after the break, and they really have to up the tempo if they're going to try and force their way back into this fixture.
Treverton School founded in 1939. Closed down briefly in 1961, then was reformed in 1963.
Keep the discipline
Another penalty at scrum time, saying that the flanker had broken off early.
Yeah, I think that was fairly clear on that occasion as well.
Sorry guys, the ball on the field. There's the mark. Let's open up, please.
They'll look for a drive here, I think, Treverton. They'll look to hit probably a 4-ball.
Well, that's where it's gone. It's taken by the new man, Kyle Raubenheimer.
Come around now, come around. Get on side, nine.
They need to smuggle the ball to the back.
Still have advantage for early lifting.
Michael Hutton must beware that he doesn't pull down that maul. The referee's going to bring them back.
Early lifting, gents.
So it's going to be a free kick for the early lift in the line out. Tap and go from Weber. The pass then from Blaker. And Blaker gets it back. There's almost a chance for Van Sedam.
Well, Ivan Van Sedam is not having the greatest day with his hands. We chalked him up at the beginning because he's a first-team cricketer, and you'd think that the skill set would be there. no-look pass coming around the back, but oh dear me, just spilling that one.
Well, you played in a scrum cap. Does it affect things like that?
Not really. He just took his eye off the ball. You know, it does get a little bit hot under there, but I think for that instance, he just took his eye off the ball and dropped it.
Nevertheless, this is the first sort of concerted time on the ball that Treverton have had in the game almost.
Well, there's a blind side here that Weston would look to exploit, an 8-9, 15-14 possibly on the cards if they have a look, because the Treverton wing is way back here on the halfway line.
Okay, it is their ball, so you guys need to adjust, eh?
So putting the ball in is Tristan Carter.
Coach! Bond! Scrum! Balls out, balls out!
But, they have gone open, and Bauer with the show of the ball, and a very clever little dink into space.
It's all backwards.
That ball just died on the ground and caused all sorts of trouble. It's coming back on the Treverton side eventually. No, it's not. Weston have got it. Bauer with the step and the handoff and the sunny bill, but the retreating Treverton player has knocked it backwards. Still chances here as Carter sends it out. And a big shout for the tackle from Umdakani coming up from the Treverton supporters in the crowd.
Get out, no,
Just short of the 10-metre now. And Bauer with the little pop pass. The back row standing amongst the three-quarter line, sometimes counterproductive. So they have to build from deep again. It's not a bad kick at the end of the day. They just ran out of options.
A little bit helter-skelter from the Western side, you know. We probably just look to play a little bit of territory. They've been under the cosh in the opening stanza of this half, and you know, just a little bit of exuberance at this stage because they're so far ahead on the scoreboard.
Well, the medics are on, and one of the players is being treated. So this game is just going to stop for a little while.
Is he okay?
There we go. That's the problem. Now, while we're looking at that, let's remind you of the top 10 ranked schools in the country at the moment, with Otanika in first place ahead of Grey College, who have been #1 for many years. And we go all the way down through some very famous sides, but Hasfontein in 5th position. Many people won't know that school, but I believe they've got a crackerjack side this year, and they're pouring resources into there, and they're going to produce a few blue bulls over the next couple of seasons, I think. It's a clean take from Raubenheimer, stepping from Weber. Treverton, they're seeing a lot more of the ball than they ever did in the first half. But that ball in the air means that they've got to use it. And you see their hands wrapped around it. Those farm boys aren't going to let go of that. And that is turnover ball.
Well, just the body position of the Treverton flanker Garlic, who took it into contact. He was way too high. That allowed the Western guys to wrap their hands around the ball. And any ascendancy that Treverton have had in this early part of the game, they've handed it back to the Western side.
Coach!
So scrum almost on the halfway dot. Sometimes a very good place to attack from. And Hutton goes left. And there is indeed space out there for the flying James Duncan Anderson. Duncan Anderson with the Campese goose step. He gets across the line. Try number 6 for Weston.
Well, great attacking scrum from the Western side. In the middle of the field, 8-9 down to Duncan Anderson, who showed fantastic skills to round Van Zudam. Unfortunately, just stood him up, and that goose step in out and around his man he went to make the conversion somewhat easier for Keegan Francis Pope, but wonderful attacking move by the Western side.
And now Francis Pope trying to make it into a 7-pointer, the first of the second half, and looks a little anxiously after it, but he's got it.
Great goose step, inside, outside, and away he went, reminiscing on the days of Carl du Plessis, Andy.
Well, you will remember Carl very well. I remember David Campese in his absolute prime, before Super Rugby began, really, and that was a throwback to Campo. Campo living in Joburg these days and possibly watching this game and purring with contentment to see a wing taking on his opposite number. So Weston on the ball again, and you can see how keen they are to keep that ball alive, throwing it around with gay abandon. Oh, and there's the Sunny Bill, beautifully done. Great hands from Weston this. They're putting on an exhibition. Strong straight run from Wes Livicic. Now they pick and go from the big tight head. Bergsma. Carter digs it out. And Bauer with the step. And still going. Oh, he's a ballet dancer. Hutton gets it wide. Here's another chance. Renken stepping on the inside. Tackles being missed. Duncan Anderson has it again, just short of the 22. And that's a good piece of fringe defence on that occasion. We haven't seen enough of that from Treverton. Pop and go over the top from Vickman. The referee says there was a foot in touch. In fact, the assistant referee says foot in touch. Now, is that cramp or has he done something worse? I think it's cramp.
Great skill sets shown by the men in blue, looking to keep the ball alive, offloading in contact, and really a pleasure to watch.
Yes, you have to feel for Treverton, but it's very enjoyable watching the confidence with which Weston are using the ball. Here's Hutton. Oh, he's gone straight through, and he scores his second try, brushing people aside like Gulliver on Lilliput.
No, you gotta go off.
Gulliver's Travels.
You gotta go off, eh?
Well, second try of the match for Michael Hutton. The Treverton defence just falling off him, and they've got to watch that it doesn't get run away from them too much at this stage for the Treverton. The men in blue have definitely come here to avenge the past 2 seasons' defeats and look to take that Dowker trophy home. And Michael Hutton leading the charge as captain of the Western side.
Yeah, he's a big lad. He's got a bit of pace and good hands. Now Keegan Francis Pope with the conversion attempt. He's got it. And that's the half century on the board for Weston.
Well, Hutton inside it and just brushing defenders aside. Another poor effort at the back by Van Zudam, who unfortunately for him hasn't had enough attacking opportunities and had to defend for the majority of this match.
And now I see a couple of Western boys running around the ground with the Western flag. And you can't blame them. I mean, it really has been a display from them. And there's a friend of mine who died earlier this year who went to Weston, Stan Thompson. I dedicate this broadcast to Stan, who taught my wife and I everything we know about farming. And he'll be purring in heaven watching the boys of Weston putting on a display like this. Sway Space is on for your man Van Sadem.
18's gonna roll.
Well, the body language of the poor Treverton guys is not great at this stage. They just need to keep fighting here and keep trying to play in the Western half and try get on the board with the try. Well, the tackles come in and he just hasn't rolled away. Number 18, White, Robenheimer, and at the breakdown, it's been the Achilles heel.
No, wait. Where's the match balls? Wait. No ball.
Just waiting for a ball. And change at tight head. On comes Meluswa Mtetwa. He replaces Sedge Bergsma. Ball has arrived. I tell you that Weston at home play with a pink ball, and they raise money that way for the victims of farm attacks and also for women and child abuse. And it's a great initiative by the Weston boys. And here they are on the ball again. Here's Hutton pirouetting his way through the defenders of Treverton. Extra meters being made by Scott Vickman. That one's gone astray, but here's Keegan Francis Pope hoisting the high ball. Backwards from Devon O'Brien. And then at the breakdown, Weston giving away the penalty.
Playing man out the ball.
So that just sums it up. Treverton have missed 29 tackles out of the 79. They've made 50, but the error rate is far too high, whereas the opposition have had to only make 29. Well, Richardson's found a useful touch, Andy, so a re-attacking platform for the Treverton side. Maybe we can see the ball move to the wings.
Putting the ball in is Struan Cowie. He's back on the field. And that's not straight. So things going from bad to worse for Treverton, I'm afraid. Driven on by Tristan Pickering. Abrasive run from Ngwenya.
Steal is good, play on.
Turnover ball, it's taken by Liversidge. And in touch, it'll be a knock on earlier though, so it'll be a scrum down with a Weston put in.
Just far too many turnovers by the Treverton side, 15, and Weston conceding a third of those. And Weston at the breakdown have just turned Treverton numerous occasions because the latcher or the man who's supposedly ducking on the Treverton side is not doing his job correctly, enabling the Western lads to counter-ruck and get their hands on the ball.
We can't stop every time for water.
Well, it's Struan Cowie who's being attended to. He's played Midlands rugby at under 16 level. Well, the drummer has started proceedings for Weston now, and the Western boys are having an absolute ball, and why not?
Scrum! Wait there, Nan.
Out from Carter to Bauer, and then straight piece of running to set the next phase. Carter goes again. Quick hands, it has not gone forward, says the referee. Ruan Enslin is on the field wearing number 18. Everybody getting in on the act for Weston. Treverton are committing plenty of players there, but they just don't have the physical power to stop this rush. Whoops, that's a shank. The penalty, though, has gone the way of Weston. And it looks as if Tristan Carter has picked up a bit of cramp. That's a super kick from Keegan Francis Pope.
Well, Justin Carter, I don't think he's going to put this in his highlights reel. He throws the ball behind his eyes, and 10-meter radius could have come into play. I think he's lucky that the penalty went his way and not towards Treverton.
Yeah, and I think he did himself a bit of a mischief as he tried to regather the ball. And he's already wearing strapping on that right knee, and I think he's hurt it again.
Two receivers.
Referee
Two receivers.
has pinged Treverton for a technical offence. It's taken by Scott Vickman. Here's Hutton throwing the hallelujah pass, and if he'd caught that, James Duncan Anderson almost certainly would have scored, but as it is, it's turnover ball.
Okay, anyway. Have a knock on. Substitution.
Well, from the ensuing free kick, have a look at Hutton. He's running somewhat laterally, but throws out an absolute peach of a pass. Duncan Anderson just couldn't hold on to it, and I think he would have been in for his second try.
Just wait, there's a subject.
New man coming on for Weston is Brendan Phillips. He's replaced Dylan Rankin. Dylan had a very good game.
Okay, let's play.
That thatch building that you saw, by the way, is where the postgraduate work gets done here. This is a campus very much devoted to eco matters. Won many awards, and you can actually get colours for doing stuff to help the environment at Treverton. That's a great example. It's too much for that poor mutt. It's a hot day, and perhaps he's a Treverton fan.
Coach! On! Scrum!
Treverton in trouble, but the flanker was, I think rather the scrum half was offside. Well, that ball has gone out on the halfway line, very close to the Dowker Trophy that the two sides are playing for. There it is. Looks a little bit like the Ryder Cup, doesn't it? It was given by Mr. Dowker Senior, who went to Weston, and his son went to Treverton. This is the 8th year that they've played for it. The last 2 years Treverton have won, but they're not going to win today. I feel fairly confident in saying, with 13 minutes to go. Number 20, who's come on, is Swace Base.
Offside again.
Well, that's the 4th penalty he's given for offside in the last few moments. He might have to look to go to the pocket and produce a yellow card if Weston keep infringing on the gain line and at the offside line.
That's a good kick.
Captain.
Hutton again, just initially was offsides, and Wes Liversaw just shot out the blocks too quickly.
Oh, we've got a bass drum there, and the mid-range one. Taken on by Umdakane. That ball is much too upright, though.
Okay, that's one swat.
Weston have managed to stop the drive, and they might yet end up getting the ball, but Treverton are heading towards the line. Umdakane has his hands on it. Can he get across? No, it's turned over.
10, just walk. Come on, bud, that's not sportsmanship, eh? Come on.
Come, boys. Come, Lebo. Let's do it. Come. Tricky, coming. Come, Drinky. Let's go.
It's the Western flyer off Michael Bauer, who had something to say to a couple of the Treverton players, not sure why.
Coach! Bond! Scrum! Ball's out.
Weston coming away with the ball, and look at the confidence with which they move it.
Come on, Jack. Watch your numbers, watch your numbers.
Well, Michael Hutton just breaking against the wheel, which is very dangerous inside your own quarter. He looks like a very competent number 8, but will have to learn that those simple things are going to cost him later on as he progresses in his rugby career.
Well, Reibenheimer won the line-out ball, and now Treverton looking for a score of their own. It's been knocked out of the hands of Devon O'Brien, but still available. Weston coming over to steal the ball, but high tackle is the call, and it's a penalty to Treverton.
Treverton are going to have to, for my liking, tap and go, because the line-out just really hasn't functioned for them all day, and Weston have contested it really well. Have a look at the high tackle coming in by winger William Blair, just around the neck, and the dangerous play by him.
Well, they have decided to go to the line-out one more time. It's Struan Cowie to feed the line-out, and this time he finds the man, and the try has been scored, and I think it's... Well, who is it? Yes, getting up is Darren Garlick, but the referee has called them back. It's not straight, I think.
You're awful, man. That's what, Tristan. Good lad, eh?
Well played, Tristan.
Have a look there, just a knock, a hand coming in by the loose head prop, Tristan Pickering, knocking it out of his hand, and again, the line-out not functioning for the Treverton guys.
Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark.
Yep, shame.
Coach! Bond!
So change at scrum half. Cabello Satsimpi. There he is, touching the ball for the first time, gets it away to Keegan Francis Pope, and now it's taken on by Hutton. Weston determined to use their wings. Here's Bauer. He has got a good step on him, there's no doubt about that.
Use it!
Pick and go from Nick Younger. He takes it over the 10. And now nobody in front. The attempted tap tackle and the wrap-up ball and all tackle. Satsimpi is hunted down.
18 who?
Well, just again round the fringes, Treverton's pillar post non-existent, and have a look here, Hayden Geldart with a lanky run popping inside to Satsimpi, but unfortunately being barreled over the touchline.
Looks like we've got a bit of cramp to one of the Western players. There's the new scrum half, Cabello Satsimpi. It's not entirely devoted to agriculture these days, Weston. You can just go there and study a normal matric, but every boy does get an opportunity to learn agricultural stuff while there. And they are a functioning farm, 1,200 hectares, and they produce their own milk and beef and everything that you would expect of a functioning farm. Very important in this area, which is so important to South Africa's food security as a whole.
Number 2.
Weston are bringing on Tristan Aldworth in place of Nick Younger. And Jonathan Ogden is on for Struan Cowie.
We'll have a look for Weston to bring the block runners into play and look to hit the wider channels.
Said simply with the pass. Bauer has a couple of W runners. Keegan Francis Pope couldn't hang on, but he didn't knock it on. William Blair shows a clean pair of heels. And now that's a good tackle from Weber. They go back the other way. Bauer, Hutton. And once again, tackles being missed by Treverton. They're trying to get wide. Here's Bauer with the step. And that's gone forward. Turnover ball. 5 minutes left in this FNB Classic clash. Weston leading Treverton by 50 points to 6.
Okay, last 5-10 minutes, not a niggle, stupid things, guys arguing amongst each other for no reason. Let's cut it out, let's play the last 8 minutes of the rugby. No, just get them under control.
Well, good to see still a little bit of feeling in this fixture. There's the initial run from William Blair, slicing through the opposition, and he does well to lay the platform, set it back, and that allowed Hutton to have another one of his bollocking runs.
Coach! Bond! Scrum! Wait there, none!
And from Weber. Oh dear. This looks like turnover ball for Weston in front of the Treverton posts.
Play advantage for blue for a knock-on. Step. Play advantage.
Good step there from Michael Skierpers. And the referee had been playing an offside advantage to Weston. Tap and go from Francis Pope. Hutton looking for his hat-trick, and he's done it.
Well, the simplest of tries for head boy and captain of this Western side, Michael Hutton, from the penalty, just a quick tap and popped it into his hands, and he just waltzed through the non-existent Treverton defence. As you see here, Francis Pope, quick tap into his hands, and simple as that, there he goes over for his hat-trick.
Conversion is good as well, and so 57 points to 6. It's actually been a much quieter second half. 3 tries for Weston after they scored 5 in the first half. Nice to see the soft drinks going down with alacrity. It's a big hit coming through from Kalipa and Gwenya, but still Weston looking to move this ball. Oh, we lost the cameraman. Let's just check that he's all right, because he was concentrating on the game there. Yeah, he's back on his feet, tough as old boots. It's one of the best tackles of the game, this.
And Gwena gets his head on the right side. An offensive tackle, driving him back, and then again, number 7 coming in with the big hit there, Garlic. And great to see our cameraman back on his feet. They did a fantastic job at Supersport. And
never lost focus. Did you notice that? Bauer puts it through the hands.
Play on.
Turnover ball for Treverton. They're looking for a consolation score.
Step there. Thank you. Step, 16.
Not too many options out wide, and so opting to
Bring him down, bring him down, bring him down, bring him
keep
down.
it under the arm.
It's up in the air, it's up in the air.
And once again, Weston just so much physically stronger at the breakdowns. They've forced the break, or the turnover rather. Here goes Bauer, look at that, for a double step. He's got a man on his inside. It's Satsimpi. Has he got the wheels to go all the way? Satsimpi! Yebo! Under the posts.
Two.
We'll have a look again. Bauer with a fantastic ball inside to Satsimpi, and he shot a clean pair of heels and turned the afterburners on, evading tacklers. And look at that swallow dive, something that Brian Abana would have been proud of.
Yeah. Yes, it all got a little ugly after that, but he's okay. The conversion has gone over, and 64 points to 6 now in favour of Weston. One of the Treverton players is being attended to under the posts. Looks like he's going to finish the game.
Watch, guys, last minute.
This may well be the last play of the game.
Last minute.
Yeah, last minute confirmed by the referee. So Weston looking
Still 30 seconds.
to finish the game, and the referee says, what on earth are you doing? We've got a game of rugby here. McGillen's kick into touch. He thought that was the end of the game. It was not.
Well, Matthew McGillen thought time was up on the clock, and he just decided to nonchalantly hoof it into touch. Unfortunately, Zane Watson had other ideas.
He'll be a bit embarrassed if Treverton score from this line out.
Counter-ruck is good.
No, Weston have
That's it, guys.
turned it over one more time in a game where they've done that umpteen times. Now it's in touch, but the referee says deliberately throwing the ball out of play. That is a penalty. It's always been a penalty. It's not one of the new laws. Satsimpi doesn't know what he's done wrong, but he must consult the law books. So Treverton desperately trying to get a try on the board before the final whistle blows. Here goes Umdakane.
They come now, leave it! Slow it down, step!
Ref's arm is out again for an advantage, so this might not be the last play of the match.
Beaten by the ruck.
Now the quick tap and go for Treverton, and getting very close there was Darren Garlick.
Step here, step, step, step! Step 13! Step here.
Navarone Albers with the little pop pass. Umdakane is over the line for the try. And the skipper finishes it in style for Treverton on a day that they won't want to remember too long.
Well, hats off to the Treverton side who've never stopped trying, and Umdakane powers his way over from close quarters, and a well-deserved try for the front ranker who has not stopped putting in the effort the whole afternoon.
So this will now be the last action of the game, the attempted conversion from Luke Richardson. So the last points of the afternoon have gone the way of Treverton, but this has been all about Weston College today. It's their centenary year next year, and their supporters have had an absolutely wonderful day. They saw them score 5 tries in the first half, 4 in the second. Their captain, Michael Hutton, who's being hugged there, he scored a hat-trick amongst those 9 tries. And a really fine victory in this FNB Classic Clash, going the way of Weston. They've won it by 64 points to 13.